Have you ever wondered what happens in Geoguessr when you report a cheater? Well, today, that's what we're going to find out by doing some investigations. So basically, we're going to review some cases and rounds where people have been reported for either Googling or scripting, and then based on the information we have, we're going to determine whether that case is guilty, innocent, or if it's a skip case, if there's like not enough information or something like that. So let's see what we find, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, this first round is a no-move game, 800 and 900 rating, 0 to 100 duels played, so not that many, and 0 to 100 classic games played, as well as an account level 20 to 30. Let's take a look. Okay. It's no move, and they haven't spun around yet, which is fine, because maybe they're like disconnected or something, but I'm wondering if they just plonk the 5K or something like that. I mean, Okay, so I don't like that round. We're gonna review it again because they don't even move at all. Like, it's not NMPZ, but I know that there definitely have been times where I've been playing, like, or queuing, for multiple modes. And for example, like, if I'm queuing, moving and no moving, and then I don't realize it's moving, but I'm still, like, doing, like, no move. That's happened before. Or, like, for NM and NMPZ as well. I think it's a gettable Lesotho, especially for 800, 900 ELO, which I think this is a new 800, 900 ELO, like, after, like, it got reset. So I feel like that's pretty high. Gettable Lesotho, yes, maybe. Lining up the exact road, I'm not sure, because I haven't studied any, like, Lesotho region guessing, so I don't know, like, if this is a really recognizable, like, road or something, or maybe, like, angle of the mountains or whatever. For sure, there's nothing to Google, because there's literally nothing to Google, so I'm going to say not guilty for Googling. Scripting, I'm less sure. I mean, it's definitely a gettable Lesotho, but gettable, like, how close they got, I'm unsure. I wish I could do, like, not guilty for one and skip for the other, but I think we have to do skip case here. Okay. Alright, next up we have a no-move game, 800 900 ELO, 0 to 100 duels played, 0 to 100 classic games played, and account level 20 to 30. These last three statistics are ones that are new from the previous investigations that I've done before, which I think is helpful because sometimes there are people who have, like, played no duels but have played a lot of classic games, and that can give helpful context. Here it doesn't seem like it's adding that much, but it could be in future rounds. Now, we can't assume this is the same person as the last time because it could just be someone with similar stats. So they're actually moving around this time. We are in no move. We can see a Mexico flag. So I think, like, for sure, gettable Mexico. But I wonder why they're not moving more. Maybe they're, like, not looking at, like, anything on the cars, on the buildings. I feel like it's weird that they just, like, panned one way instead of doing, like, a full 360. Ooh, okay. I'm, like, heavily leaning towards scripting here. So let's review this again because I don't want to just make, like, a rash judgment. Is there anything to Google? I feel like technically no. I mean, like, there's, like, words on the right. We can see, like, a little bit of words, but not something that tells you, like, an address. It's just, like, something to do with, like, what type of business it is. And I can't even see the full name of the business. Mexico is very obvious because we have, like, the flag. Maybe you can tell from the poles in the background. But yeah, them not doing even, like, a full 360, the fact that they moved a little bit makes me know that they know it's no move at least. But they don't do any, like, sort of scanning different areas. It's just like, oh, we're going in the south and we're clicking really close to where the 5K is. So this one I feel more sure is guilty for scripting, and I'll say not guilty for Googling. Alright, next up we have a no-move round, 800 900 ELO, 0 to 100 duels played, 0 to 100 classic games played, and account level 20 to 30. Okay. They are not panning around yet. Okay, they're panning around a little bit, which is something. Yeah, this feels really like scripting to me. Um, yeah, no, there's no way you're like lining up this road and no move like this without even like spinning around. Like they've only like spun around like 2 seconds and now they're on the exact 5K. Like they are literally like, no, that's scripting for sure. Okay. Let me just make sure there's no like evidence of Googling as well. So they pan around for like 1 second, right? Like they don't even do a full 360, which is like at the bare minimum, do a full 360, then pause, right? Is there something to Google here? I can't tell if the graffiti on the building is like Googleable. I think it's maybe a gettable Senegal, but getting the exact 5K without moving, zooming in on anything, like, you know, looking at the cars, looking at the trees, looking at the sand, whatever. And they're actually just like on the exact road. Like there's not even like a road like crosswalk sign here. Yes, this feels like scripting to me. So guilty for scripting, not guilty for Googling for this one. Okay, this one we have a moving duel, rating range 600 to 700, duels played 800 to 900, so quite a decent amount of duels played. Classic games played 100 to 200, account level 50 to 60. Okay. If the play button will work. Okay, cool. So they're not moving, even though it's moving around. Maybe they're having internet issues or something like that. Let's see what happens when they do move, or if they do move eventually. Okay. So Louisiana Political Museum Hall of Fame. So immediately know Louisiana, which is a state in the U.S. We don't know if they're from the U.S., so maybe they don't know where Louisiana is, which is okay. They're looking at Florida. They're in Louisiana. Honestly, okay. There's definitely something to be Googled here, right? Like it says Louisiana Political Museum Hall of Fame, but it just feels like a case to me where maybe this player did not know where Louisiana is, which is completely okay because there's like 50 states in the US and yeah, there's just quite a lot. But yeah, obviously we have like the American flag and everything, and I have no clue what like 600 to 700 ELO is and like if this is like the new ELO, like what that equivalent was in the old ELO. But I mean, I could see like if you're not like from the US or haven't studied US metas, maybe you just don't know where Louisiana is, which is completely okay. So you're just scanning all the state names. I think this is fine. They don't even get particularly close within the state. I think if they like 5K'd on Winfield, Louisiana, then I would say maybe it's Googling. But I think they just didn't know where Louisiana is. So I'm going to say not guilty for scripting, not guilty for Googling, because also doesn't really feel like scripting behavior, because I think they probably would have got closer at least, or not panned around to like look for the state names. That's just like what it felt like to me. So I'm going not guilty for both. All right, next up we have a moving duel, 600 to 700 ELO, 800 to 900 duels played, 100 to 200 classic games played, and account level 50 to 60. We're in some sort of alleyway. We're spinning around. We're looking at the architecture a little bit, maybe the tree. Oh, look, hey, Mr. Carr, okay. It says rue. It says rue on the street sign that is there. Ooh, why is there a German and Italian flag on that sign? Maybe we're near embassies, question mark? Or are we just in really, like, eastern, Marseille Provence. Okay, well, this is, like, a gettable region of France, but they're currently zoomed into just, like, France as a country, not the particular region. Maybe they're looking for, like, a city name. I mean, Marseille is there. Do I think this is Googling or scripting? I don't know. This feels fairly, like, normal movement to me. I'm going to watch it one more time before I make my for sure judgment. They do a normal spin around, which is okay. They decided to go down this one particular road. They're looking around. They see maybe rue is like the French word for streets. Maybe they know that, maybe they don't. Marseille is a very big city, I'll say, in France. Or it's like a very well-known city, so is it Googling them necessarily? I don't know. I mean, they're looking at all the signs. Like, they're not just, like, looking at random stuff. And then they look at the trash bin, which is, like, a very valid place to get information. I think, like, theoretically, you could Google, like, oh, Marseille Provence, like, in the amount of time that they're looking at this, but it feels like the map movement is very, like, natural to me at least. So I want to say, I mean, it's like possible that they could have Googled, but I don't feel like it is because the movement feels normal. I'm going to say not guilty for scripting and not guilty for Googling, but feel free to let me know down below in the comments if you disagree with that. That is okay. All right, we have a moving duel, 600, 700 elo, 800 and 900 duels played, classic games played 100 to 200, account level 50 to 60. We are, okay, doing a half spin, okay. We see the street sign on the left. This is Magnoletti. We are in a left-hand driving country, so I'm not loving how much they're just stuck on this sign because at least in comparison with the last round, I'm not saying they're the same person, but like in the last round, there was a lot more movement and like scanning and looking at different signs and stuff. This one, they're just looking at like the city name and they get super, super close. So let's watch this again before I make my judgment because I'm leaning towards guilty for Googling, but I want to kind of count how many seconds they're just like staring at the sign without doing any other movement or even like map scanning. Like they kind of just like zoom into the right area. Because at least like in some of the other rounds, they're scanning for like the correct, oh, here's a state or here's a city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that's like 15 seconds-ish before they even zoom into the right country. If I wasn't moving and I found a sign like this and I didn't know exactly what country it was, I would at least like zoom into like the area where I think it could be, or the continent maybe, or at least the hemisphere. Like they did no map movement for 15 seconds after seeing this. So I do want to say it strongly feels like Googling to me. I think like at the very least, like maybe you just like zoom into like Africa if you think it's like left-hand driving, or Australia if you thought it was Australia, but they don't zoom into anything. They just like magically zoom into the right region of South Africa. So we're gonna go guilty for Googling here and not guilty for scripting. All right, next we have a moving duel, 500 to 600 elo, 1,000 to 2,000 duels played, which is a lot. Classic games played 100 to 200, and account level 60 to 70. Okay. We are spinning around. We have not moved down the road yet. Okay, moving down the road now. Sauf is in French, okay, but I think we're maybe pompiers, like the firefighters, okay. Sauver, okay. It says make a donation on the sign. I don't know if it says anything about the specific city from like the text that I could read quickly. Volume, petit prix. Okay, we're in France. Ooh, there's a 3 area code. I wonder if they know where the 3 area code is. Because I recently learned those. Or at least like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it says Nancy on the bus station here, like the bus stop, which is a very big like city or like well-known city, I think, in France, or maybe I'm just biased from like learning a lot of like French cities and stuff and like studying like French in college and whatever. I think it's very knowable, but let me like review this. I don't want to watch the whole thing because they do scan around quite a lot. I'm gonna pretty much go, where do they first find this bus station? I think they know it's like France, probably at this point from like the language, or at least like that's what I think, but they haven't scanned into like or zoomed into the country at all. But on the sign it does say .fr, so I feel like at the very least like here I'd be like, okay, zoom into France and plonk it in the middle, or like label click, or Paris, or whatever it may see. It says Nancy on here. Can they be Googling this? Potentially. Could they also just know it? I think so. This one I'm less certain about that it's Googling. I mean, it's definitely possible. What do they do here once they get into the city? I mean, could they have known an error code? Could they have known the city? I think it's possible. This one feels like at least they did a lot of movement. So I'm going to say skip for this one because I'm not sure. And it says like the pop-up here for skip case. If you're not confident in your assessment, selecting skip is always the right choice. Yes, this one I feel a little bit less sure about, so we're going to skip case. Okay, next one. We have a moving duel, 500 to 600 elo, 1,000 to 2,000 duels played, 100 to 200 classic games played, and account level 60 to 70. If I could click it, that would be helpful. Okay. We are just spinning around, like panning around. Okay, we have language they're looking at. Okay, normal movement. They're looking at that donut statue. Okay, they're looking at the van. Maybe they're looking at the brand of the car. Maybe they looked at the country URL on the sign. Mannheim. Mannheim is a very big place. Okay. Do they know where Mannheim is? Undetermined so far. I mean, they're doing a lot of, like, moving around and panning. Like, this feels like very normal movement to me. I'm just curious how close they'll get off their first zoom into the country, if they get the right country here. .de, so that's Deutschland, so that's Germany. So do they just middle plonk Germany? Or do they... I mean, it says Mannheim on there. And Mannheim is, like, a pretty big label in the country. Like, you don't even have to zoom in that far to get into Mannheim. Okay, this one is hard because it's definitely very noble. And I feel like I am not certain off the start that this is a Google or scripting because the map movement seemed fine because once they saw .de, they kind of just like went into Germany. And then like you don't even have to zoom in that far to see Mannheim. Like it's literally like the second zoom level after, you know, just seeing these three. So it's potentially knowable. I don't think I should think like, oh, because there's certain elo you might not know this thing, or do you know this thing? I feel like it's definitely like these urban runs are harder, I think, to judge because these are bigger cities, I think, usually at lower elo. But I'm gonna say skip case for this one because like could have been Googled, yes, but the movement felt very natural to me, so I don't want to like say for sure that they are, but we're gonna skip case here. Okay, next one is a moving duel, 500 to 600 elo, 1,000 to 2,000 duels played, 100 to 200 classic games played, and account level 60 to 70. Okay, left side driving, perfect. They're looking at the car, Flamenco Workshop, Caltex. Definitely there are things to Google. So, it's possible. Ooh, we got a big sign up here. Okay. 018 area code. That's probably somewhere near Johannesburg, right? Like, not exactly Johannesburg, but like 24315. Yeah, the ones are to like the top right, I think, of South Africa. I don't like... Is Johannesburg 11? It's like somewhere around there. Like the ones are like generally around there. I know it's not, it might not exactly be Johannesburg, but somewhere to the Johannesburg or to the right of it. That's like the general area I think it is. Now, is that something that this person knows? No way to know this, but let's see what they're looking at. Okay, they're looking more at the signs. I mean, it doesn't really explicitly say like South Africa anywhere. Okay. That movement was a little weird. I'm gonna go back to that movement in a second because it was like boop, 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 like kind of like in a circle. So it felt a little bit like scripting to me. But they at least zoomed into like the Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, like triangle, if you will, of like countries. Like they knew like the general area of the continent. Okay, now they're in the exact city, which is maybe gettable. Maybe they know it, maybe they don't. Are they gonna go for the exact 5K here? Like, what are they trying to line up? Like an intersection? This simultaneously feels like Googling and scripting to me, like, but would you not have gotten the answer faster, or okay, I'm unsure. I'm leaning towards guilty for at least something, but then again, if I'm not, and if I don't feel very confident in it, I will do skip case. But let's go to the point where they first see the sign with the yellow on it, because I think that's where they start to like just pause and like stop moving both in game and in the map. I think you gotta do at least like one of the two after like 5 seconds, which they kind of do. Okay, so they're like, okay, maybe it's one of these countries, like it feels like because of the English, maybe the left side driving. The way they're clicking around Botswana is like a little bit weird, but not like the weirdest thing, I guess, in the world. It says ZA on here, so they at least know it's ZA now, and there's also the South Africa flag. Maybe they're scanning for a city name? Okay, they see Mahikeng here. We're at an intersection. Are they scanning for like intersections here? Like, I'm unsure what they're doing. I mean, it's possible. So I do want to say maybe it feels like Googling, but I don't feel very confident in it. And you can let me know if you disagree down below, but I'm going to go skip case here just because I'm like, they could have just been scanning for the information, right? Or like thinking about it. It wasn't like, it was weird, but not a crazy amount of time. So let's go skip case because I'm unsure. We have a no move duel, 800 and 900 elo, 1000 2000 duels played, classic games played 1000 and 2000, account level 80 to 90. We are spinning around, yellow outer lines. We see the sign on the left. Okay. Looking at the pole. No move, so we can't go down the road. They know that we're in ZA, so they're in ZA. They're scanning for something. Ooh. I don't like how close they got there, but let's review it so I don't make a rash judgment. Okay, I mean, you see this route marker sign, which maybe this tells you, I don't know particularly, like maybe it tells you something about the region or something, but would I be scanning Cape Town and Durban if I knew where like this particular route marker meant to be? And then even if it told you like a region or a city, like, are you getting the exact right road? Like, unless this is like a really well-known road, this feels really weird. Let's go here. I'm just gonna look at the map movement one more time. They kind of go into Cape Town at first, then Durban. Okay. Go a little bit south of Durban. But then they kind of like magically like change to the exact right city in the north, which is like what would have made them change that, because they didn't look at anything new. Like there wasn't like, oh my gosh, I see like a certain tree that's only in this region. They didn't like look at the sun to like line up the road. Like it feels very, very odd to me that they just got the right city and road. So Googling, there's nothing to Google. Well, could you Google that route marker? I don't think so. I'm going to go not guilty for Googling. I am going to go scripting guilty here. And I feel more confident in this one than some of the previous rounds, because I think like even if that route marker told me some amount of information, if I knew it, I would have like zoomed into the area right away. Or if I didn't know it, I'm not getting the exact road. I mean, like it could always be like lucky in quotes, but it wasn't like I saw the route marker and insta-plonked like the area and then I got lucky. It was like they scanned like the incorrect areas for a while and then just magically went to the right area. That was kind of like, that's what it feels like to me. I think it's guilty for scripting, not guilty for Googling, but let me know down below if you disagree with this again. Okay, we got a no move duel, 800 to 900 elo, 400 to 500 duels played, 800 to 900 classic games played, 80 to 90 account level. Okay. Some more single player games played than duels played. I should pay attention. Okay, they're looking at the pull tops, which is like a very normal thing to do. Maybe to see like the oil palms, or at least some sort of palm. I don't know if they're oil palms, but they feel like oil palms to me. Okay. Okay. This one, nothing to Google, so immediately not guilty for Googling. Scripting, I mean, they got the timer put on them from their opponent, so that means their opponent submitted their guess first. Looking at the pole tops, looking at the architecture, looking at the trees, I think it's like gettable to get West Cali. Like, would I personally get West Cali? No, but I'm very bad at Indonesia. But just because I'm not good at the country doesn't mean I should assume someone of a similar elo should also not be good at the country. But yeah, I mean, it could be a lucky Indo plonk. They could just know more about Indo than me. I think this is fine, so we're going to say not guilty for both. Alright, next up we have a no-move duel, 800 900 elo, 400 to 500 duels played, 800 to 900 classic games played, 80 to 90 account level. It's Russia, question mark, right? Reddish dirt, white outer, white dash middle, driving on the right, okay. They're looking at the car. Do they look at the antenna? Because if they look at the antenna, they're a knower. Because I'm very much not a knower of Russia. But I've been, like, slowly learning A-type, B-type differences. So, you know, getting there. I mean, okay. So, first thought, nothing to Google, so not guilty for Googling. Scripting, let's review it one more time. It's pretty knowable right away that it's Russia. As for the particular region of Russia, again, not a country that I'm particularly good with. So, like, could it vibe like a certain area and I'm just not aware? Entirely possible. So I'm going to go not guilty for both here because, I mean, yeah, they skin around, they look at a couple different things. They kind of just, like, plonk it in the middle. It could just be a middle plonk or a lucky plonk. Not guilty for both. Alright, next up we have another no-move duel, 800 to 900 elo, 400 to 500 duels played, 800 to 900 classic games played, and 80 to 90 account level. This one looks like a quicker round. Okay, red dirt. They're spinning around. They're looking at the trees. They're like, huh, what kind of trees are those? I'm kind of trying to, like, talk through with the thought process of the player, even though I don't know them or, like, know exactly what they're thinking. I mean, to be honest, like, is that even, like, that good of a guess? Like, it's okay. So, A, first of all, nothing to Google. So, not guilty for Googling. But going in Minas Gerais when it's Mato Grosso do Sul, I mean, feels very Brazilian, so they got the right country, but this is actually, like, quite far if you think about it. So that feels kind of fine to me. We're going to go not guilty for both. Alright, we got another no-move duel, 800 to 900 elo, 700 to 800 duels played, 200 to 300 classic games played, and 50 to 60 account level. They're looking at the road. They see the truck. Okay, looking at the road lines maybe, looking at the other car. Looking at the bollard, looking at the vegetation, maybe. Kazakhstan ever? Question mark? It is Kazakhstan, okay. Still need to learn my Kazakhstan region guessing, but... Wait, did they plonk it in Kazakhstan? Or are they just looking at the area? Ooh. Ooh, Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Let's go here, because I think this is where, or right around where they start to do map movement. I mean, I think it's a very obvious Kazakhstan because of the truck plus the vegetation. As for region guessing within Kazakhstan, I mean, maybe the mountain ridge is knowable. Maybe the road is knowable. It's possible. I don't want to say for sure that this is scripting, though, because they kind of guessed very quickly, it felt like, or they had a time pressure put on them at least from this point on. So I think it feels natural that once the opponent starts to put the timer on, that's when they start to do map movement. I'm going to go not guilty for both because there's nothing to Google. Scripting, I don't think so. They either know it or maybe like they just got lucky. Doesn't feel very much like scripting to me, so we're going to go not guilty. Okay, no move duel, 800 900 elo, 700 to 800 duels played, 200 to 300 classic games played, and account level 50 to 60. We are spinning around, looking at the guardrail, the houses perhaps, the mountain. The sun is in the west, which is not super helpful. Looking a little bit at the blur of the car, maybe the copyright. Looking at the trees, okay. What do I think this person is thinking? Okay, so their opponent guessed first. So they got 10 seconds left. Kind of just looking at the mountains. I mean, okay, so they only really guess with like 5 seconds left, right? 4 seconds left? 3 seconds left? Okay, first thought is nothing to Google, so not guilty for Googling. Scripting, I guess technically possible, but I think it's possibly a gettable Mexico, and I honestly clicked so close to like central downtown Mexico and like label that it could just be like, oh shoot, I only have 3 seconds left, I'm just like plonking it there. So I don't hate where they plonked. I mean, even though they adjusted, it's possible they're scripting, but I don't really feel confident in that, and I'm like leaning more towards that they're not, so we'll go not guilty for both. Okay, another no move duel, 800 to 900 elo, 700 to 800 duels played, 200 to 300 classic games played, and account level 50 to 60. We are not moving yet. Okay, spinning around a little bit. Ooh, okay, language. Bollard, that is a thick bollard. Hold on. Let's just go back for a second. Like, isn't that a thick bollard? Like, why is it so, like, round and tall? What does it say? Is that Friesland or something like that? Belgium ever then? Is that a Belgium sign with, like, the bike and the second bike on it? I'm not entirely sure of the country myself in this round. But they're looking at the vegetation. They're looking like at all the information they have around. They zoom down the road, which you can see kind of like flowers in the back, so maybe they're noticing that too. Looking at the houses, maybe the architecture type. It definitely is Europe. Like, it's definitely giving Europe. Now, do they get the right country? There is text on this, so technically there is something that is Googleable, but they haven't like rested too long on it. Oh, not Belgium. I meant Netherlands. Duh, of course. I mean, I'm going back to the time when the opponent starts a countdown timer. I think it's possible to get Netherlands here. I'm not that good, so I got it wrong with like my potential guess or whatever, but it's definitely gettable, especially with how flat it is. From region guessing within the Netherlands, though, I mean, they could have Googled it, but it doesn't feel like a for sure Google, so I'm gonna go not guilty for both. Okay, we have a moving duel, 900 to 1,000 ELO, 2,000 to 3,000 duels played, 1,000 to 2,000 classic games played, and account level 90 to 100. We're spinning around. Okay, we moved. We see the black sticker on the left side of the pole. Ooh, some sort of palm. Okay. Okay, they're looking at the sign. I think that's like the first like text that they could have like quote unquote Googled. Does it feel like they Googled it? Not necessarily. Kind of just felt like they saw it for a second. This is Jaya, which doesn't that mean Java, I think. So I'm pretty sure we're like near Java and Indo, but I could be wrong. Because again, I'm bad at Indo. Kind of trying to see like what they go back to look at, because now they've restarted at least once. Oh, that is a weird, what is that like statue there? Do they know they're Kabupaten? Maybe they find a sign? This is a very long round, I will say. So like both opponents are clearly like looking for information and aren't sure right away. This is Kabupaten Minahasa. So if I knew what that was, I would be insta-plonking. But it doesn't seem like they know they're Kabupaten, or at least this one if they know a couple. Hey, a puppy. Hello, puppy. Salamat. Kabupaten Minahasa again. Okay. Are they looking at the pole tops perhaps now? Back at the different architecture types, like the houses, going down the road. I don't think anything feels particularly weird to me so far. Like, I don't feel like it's like scripting or Googling, even though there's been like definitely things that you could Google, like the Kabupaten here. This feels very normal to me. So already I'm leaning towards like not guilty or skip case for both, but we'll see what happens in the last couple of seconds because it looks like it's almost over. Zooming down the road. Okay, opponent submitted a guess, so they're like, okay, I have to submit a guess. I mean, you know it's... Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so... That's weird. Okay, so very clear from like a couple seconds in that it was Indonesia. Someone of 900 of 1,000 ELO, I think, would at least get the country right, which obviously they did. But for getting North Sula, did anything like give away that it was North Sula except for like the Kabupaten, if you know your Kabupaten? And then again, they saw the Kabupaten like multiple times throughout that round, so like if they knew their Kabupaten and like they were sure of it, they would have zoomed into North Sula, I think, a lot more sooner. Like it feels just very weird to me how like they weren't even in Indo at all, much less North Sula, and then like once the opponent puts time pressure on, they were in like the exact right area, because that is a very big commit. Like North Sula isn't particularly like in the center, you know, like you'd probably go somewhere here, maybe do a little water hedge. Like this is very far up there for not knowing it's up there, and the behavior did not make me think that they knew it was up there. But again, I'm not good at Indo, so maybe there were other clues that tipped you towards North Sula, like the architecture type or the pull tops, and I'm just not aware of it. So I have to go, I think, skip case here. Like this is like, I'm unsure. This is going to be the last duel that I review because I think we've reviewed a couple of them for today. So this is a moving duel, 700 to 800 elo, 2,000 to 3,000 duels played, 200 to 300 classic games played, and a cal level 70 to 80. So let's take a look. Okay, we're spinning around. We see the bullards, we see the polls, we see the language, Mielek and Jaslani. Okay, so you know right away that it is Poland, which is very obvious, I think, from the bullards and from the language. Now this feels like scanning. Feels like, okay, they are looking for the route number. They may be looking for the city name. There's 92 right there. Okay, I mean... Okay, let's watch this again before I give my thoughts. Because, okay, you know it's Poland probably from these like first 2-3 clicks on the road. And from this... I know that they know it's automatically Poland because like they zoom in right away to Poland like after seeing the language on the sign, which is probably what I would have done. It does feel like they're scanning for the route number or the city name, which yes, technically it could be Googleable, but does it feel like they Googled? I'm not sure. The one weird thing to me is that they kind of just like went from like getting the right city to getting the right intersection, but then again, if they just like looked where the two routes intersected, like it's not that big of a stretch to know it. So while it's possible they could have Googled or like been scripting here, like the fact that they automatically zoomed into Poland when they saw the language doesn't make me feel like it is for sure one or the other. So I'm gonna say not guilty for both because I don't think it feels like scripting. I think they just like did really good at scanning for the information. But feel free to let me know down below if you disagree with that. And that is going to be it for today. So thank you so much for watching this video of me doing some Geoguessr investigations. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Thank you so much again for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to Vanilla and have a great day.